Well, looky right there. Looky right there. See that? Jimbo made the paper. You see that? Jimbo. Jimbo. That's your humble host, Jimbo. So it's, again, I'm dressed up for the holidays, but today we're going to do something different. We're going to have what we call a dramatic reading. Can you see that there? Dramatic reading. We're doing this primarily for the kids. Now you adults, you may like this, or you might not like it, but we're going to do a little story for the kids. This is one of those holiday stories. Now I'm going to give you the backstory of the story. I was back in 1822. I got this right off the Google. See right there? See that? There's my notes. 1822. Fella by the name of Clement Clark Moore, M-O-O-R-E, wrote a poem by the name of A Visit from St. Nicholas. Most of us would notice here poem by, it was, 'twas the night before Christmas, but the original name was A Visit from St. Nicholas. Now the Google says, right here, says right under Google, the poem was first published in a newspaper called the New York Sentinel. I don't believe that's around. I got the Post and the News and the Times now, and the Observer. It was published on December 23rd. It was an immediate success. Can you imagine? God get the poem, and it just puts it in the paper, and suddenly everybody says, whoa, this is a great poem. So I'm going to read it to you. Now, you kiddies come up. Imagine it's Christmas Eve. Okay, let's imagine. Use your imagination. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings was hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas would soon be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, with visions of the sugar plums dancing, look at dancing in the heads. And Mama in her kerchief, they got my kerchief right there. And I in my cap, I got my cap right there, had just settled our brains, that's inside your head there, the brains, for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn, there rose such a clatter. I sprang from the bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window, I flew like a flash. Shoo! Tore open the shutters, threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave the luster of midday to objects below. When what to my wondering eyes, see, look at it, my eyes are wide open. Eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and a tiny reindeer. With a little old driver is driving the sleigh. So lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be the St. Nick. Look at there. There he is. See, woo, I'm a St. Nicholas. Look at me. I'm going to be on display on your roof. More rapid than eagles, his coursers they came. And he whistled and shouted, hey, you reindeer, sit down out of there. And called them out by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen. Oh Comet, oh Cupid, on Donna and the Blitzen. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they met with an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up to the housetops, the coursers they flew, with a sleigh full of the toys. And the St. Nicholas too. He's up there with the toys and the sleighs and the prance and the dance and the blitzen and the ritzen. And then in a twinkling, I heard on the roof the prancing and the pawing. See, here, of each little hoof. And I drew my hand and was turning around, and down came the chimney. St. Nicholas with a bound. His dressed on fur. See, I got the fur there. From his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and the soot. A bundle of toys he flung on his back. He looked like a peddler. See him right there? Just opening his sack. His eyes, how they twinkle. See, look, see that little twinkle in my eye there, right there? His eyes, how they twinkled. His dimples, how merry. His cheeks, they looked like roses, and his nose is like a cherry. Imagine that. His droll little mouth was drawn like a bow, and the beard of his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face, and a round little belly that shook when he laughed. Ho, 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 like a bowl full of the jelly. He's a chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf. And I laughed when I saw him in spite of him. I said, look at that. He's got a little pot belly and got the hair and the soot. He's a funny little guy. With a wink of his eye. See that wink? With a wink of his eye and a twist of his head, soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the stockings. Look at him fill the stockings. And then turned with a jerk. And laying his finger aside of his nose, you know, like that movie, The Sting, he knows what's going on there. And giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him explain, ere he drove out of sight, Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Well, if it gets better than that, don't tell me. That's as good as it gets. And this is our practice. I'm Jimbo, and this is the JNN.